You ain't nothing, you ain't never been nothing, and you ain't never gonna be nothing. I'm gonna put you into this world and I'll take you out. Girl, you know you ugly, so you might as well just cultivate your mind. She sure is pretty. Yeah, gotta be so. Yeah, man, you got to do something with that nappy head. Why'd you hurt me so bad? Please help us with our words. Divine Creator, assist me. In speaking, may my words be anointed. May my words not damage a soul. Divine Mother, assist me. In speaking, words of power, words that heal. Words that transform, and words that build. Help me guard my words. No venom. This my lips, and no destruction comes from my speech. Hekau, 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 hekau.
If my words show me to be out of divine right order, may my mind and my mouth be clear. May my words be loaded with blossom, encourage all those and meet to reach a greater height. May my words speak with your breath and sing your sweet song of life.
Hekau, 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 hekau.
May goodness and mercy follow me all the days of my life. May goodness and mercy follow me all the days of my life. May goodness and mercy follow me through all days of life. Divine Creator, place words upon my lips and make my voice sacred. May goodness and mercy follow me all the days of my life. May goodness and mercy follow me through all the days of my life. May goodness and mercy follow me through all the days of my life.
Dwa R Hrw. May goodness and mercy follow me, follow you through all the days of our lives.
Yes, do I love that song. Do I to the Netaru and all who have gathered in this sacred circle today. I'll keep my eye to you. Today we reflect upon one of the most profound concepts within our Kemetic tradition, Heka. Many people think of Heka as magic, but in Kemet, Heka was much more than just, than what modern people call magic. Heka is the divine power through which creation comes into being. It is the force through which the Netaru established order. It is the power of the spoken word, aligned with truth, aligned with Ma'at. It is the energy that transforms thought into action and intention into manifestation. Our elders and the ancient understood that words carry power, our thoughts carry power, and actions carry power. When we align all of this with Ma'at, Heka becomes a force of healing, transformation, protection, and elevation. Every prayer is an act of Heka. Every sincere blessing is an act of Heka. Every word spoken in truth is an act of Heka. Every word, I said that. Today we gather to deepen our understanding of Heka and to reflect upon how we use our own words, thoughts, and actions in service to Ma'at.
All right. Do I? Yeah. All right. We're going to give honor to the Neteru and honor to Aku, which are our ancestors, and honor to those who have gathered here in truth and sincerity. We're going to open the way here and say, may every way be open here before us. May every obstacle be removed, and may our hearts be receptive. May our minds be clear, and may our speech be aligned with Ma'at. May this gathering be blessed with wisdom and understanding. Dua and Ma'at, Dua Neteru, Dua and Aku. So as we open the way, I have found another video of a young lady opening the way. So I'd like to share that with you all. Okay.
We thank you for loving us eternally. We thank you.
And that Shadak never had. Anu never had. And that Shadak Hapi. Anu Hapi. Tua Inter. I want to face south. And that Shadak Circuit. Anu Circuit. And that Shadak Kesanu. Anu Kesanu. Tua Inter. I want to face towards the west. And that should offset. A nuke offset. And that should set. A nuke set. Tua inter. Now towards the north. And that should need. A nuke need. And that should mutef. A nuke mutef. Tua inter. Now you want to go back facing towards the east and you want to raise your arms above your head. And measure like newt. A nuke newt. And measure like geb. A nuke geb. Tua inter. Now we're going to go in a circle towards the right and give thanks to Shu. And measure like Shu. 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 A nuke shu. And you always end up back facing towards the east. So now we're going to go in the opposite direction, counterclockwise, and we're going to show thanks and reverence to Tefnut. And Nejadak, Tefnut, 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 Anuk, Tefnut. Dwa R Hrw. Now we're going to place our arms back above our heads and we're going to salute the Pa'anateru. And Nejadak, Pa'anateru, Anuk, Pa'anateru. And Nejadak, Embu Neteru. Anuk, Embu Neteru. Dwa R Hrw. And now, towards the end, you want to send Ankh energy to others around you as well as your space. So usually when I am doing this practice, I am by myself. However, it is my partner and I who occupy the space. So I always imagine Ankh energy being sent to him, myself, as well as all of the doors and the windows in the home. This is what this looks like.
So I just want to send energy. That
Do on the turf for that.
Wow, yeah.
I find it interesting as we, of course, always I like to give honor to Baba Heru, Ankra, Samad Sepata, Ma'ake Ru, opener of the way, bearer of Ma'at, and the custodian of the Ankh. We give thanks for his service. We give thanks for his teachings. We give thanks for his unwavering dedication to Ma'at and the spiritual upliftment of our community. And though he has made his transition from our physical form, his example continues to inspire us. This was something that I found on YouTube. All of us have been inspired somehow by Baba Haru and all that performed the open of the way set at his footsteps or at his foot, at his feet at some point and learned that ritual. So we always give honor to his memory through right action, sincere devotion, fellowship, and service to others. May his name continue to be spoken always as we practice. May his legacy continue to bear its fruit. And may he be remembered among the blessed Aku. Dwa and Baba Heru Ankra Samaj Sepata.
Now we all know this is the part. And I love actually when you do this.
I'll show
I don't know
you
what
what
I did do.
go through it. You go through it, but I'll show you what I did for it today.
Okay, yes. All right. Giving of the flowers. Right. Awesome. Today we offer flowers in honor of Heka. We offer flowers for wisdom in speech. We offer flowers for truth in thought. We offer flowers for integrity in action. We offer flowers for for the understanding that every word we speak carries creative power. Yes, it does. May our offering strengthen our commitment to living in accordance with my art. Yes.
So today, instead of pulling out my plants, I actually color too. I'm like a big kid. I color, I play with Legos. So I colored our flowers for today.
Nice. I love it. I love it.
So that is the flowers that we are offering to Heka. Let's go ahead and set our feathers so we can get into today's adoration.
Yes.
I'm excited about this topic. Inspired by you, our Sanette Sashat here. She inspired this topic, and I'm excited about it because I'm going to be very transparent and say that my energy's been a little, I don't know, low or off. And I think that, I don't believe in coincidence. You and I were speaking last night. What are we going to talk about today? Because it's never like a rehearsed thing. We just kind of come up with it and go with it. But when you had mentioned Heka, it just kind of came over me like, yeah, my energy's been low. I've been feeling a little off. I need to speak some power into myself. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it was fitting, very, very fitting, the topic that you had come up with. So while we set our feather today, let's clear our minds for a moment and we're going to take in our 4 breaths. Today, they're going to be 4 breaths of alignment. Okay, the first one is going to be truth. We're going to breathe in truth. The second one, we're going to breathe in wisdom. Third breath will be clarity. And on our 4th breath, we're going to breathe in ma'at and exhale any confusion. Let's go with it. So exhale any confusion, any of that low vibrational energy like I've been feeling. Let's exhale it. All right, as we breathe together, we remember that Heka is the strongest when aligned with truth and righteousness. As we transition to adoration, we have centered ourselves and we now move into adoration. And today we honor Neteru and the sacred force that Heka permeates through creation. So let us offer praise.
Yeah, offer praise. All right. Gonna do our adoration to our Neteru. Yahu in my At. Hail to my At, Lady of Truth and Divine Order. Without my At, Heka becomes disorder. May our words always be aligned with the truth. May our intentions remain pure. Dwa my At. Yahu in Ra. Hail to Ra, who brought forth creation through divine power and sacred utterance. May we remember that creation begins with thought, intention, and word. Dwa Ra. Yahu in Jehuti. Hail to Jehudi, Lord of wisdom, writing, and sacred speech, keeper of divine knowledge, master of the spoken word. May we speak carefully and wisely. Excuse me. May our words bring healing rather than harm. Dua Jehuti. Yahu and Heka. Hail to Heka, divine power itself. Ancient force present before creation, power that moves through word, ritual, prayer, and intention. May we understand your sacred nature. May we use your power responsibly and in harmony with my eye. Dua and Heka. Ihahu and Ptah. Hail to Ptah, who conceived creation in heart and brought it forth through speech. May we remember that what begins within eventually manifests without. Dua Patu. So today we are going to talk about, get a little bit more in depth with what Heka is, what it means to us. Yeah, just delve into wherever the conversation goes and where it goes. But Heka is not merely magic. Heka is a sacred power that animates prayer. It is the force within ritual. It is the power behind blessings, offerings, and sacred speech. Our elders taught that creation itself came forth through divine thought and divine utterance. When our hearts align with Ma'at and our words align with truth, we participate in that same sacred process. So some of the questions for us today that we might be, dwell into, get into a little bit. What are we creating with our words? Are we speaking life? Are we speaking healing? Are we speaking truth? Or are we speaking doubt, fear, and confusion? Heka reminds us that words matter. Do I? And when you were talking earlier, I don't know, sometimes like stuff, but stuff doesn't always completely connect for you. Something just connect for me. So I have a deck of affirmation cards that I created that hopefully it will be out for, I guess for purchase by the end of this month. I have several versions of them. But it just hit me that if I'm walking in my comedic, walk, and I'm a comedic practitioner, why am I calling them affirmation cards? Right? It should be Heka, right? So yes, I got some work to do this week where I'm finna alter my whole thing. I'm glad I thought about that before I put everything into production per se. So just going back and typing and altering some things and how I want to present them. And I think sometimes I remember having conversations with some other friends of mine and some a sister actually that I work with, she's a member of the shrine. She's how I learned about the shrine of my eye. But she does awesome work with women guys. I'll let y'all with her later. But we're having conversations and using certain terminology and sometimes going back and forth between, wanting to appease the masses, right?
True.
or kind of thing. So we use words that they're used to versus words that we use. And I was like, well, you know, they're not going to get used to it unless we keep using those words, right? And somebody can ask us what that means, and we can tell them. Or every once in a while, we can just remind, well, when I say this, I mean this, you know, kind of thing. Or this is what you call it. This is what I call it. Versus just always using those same words. How are we ever going to be able to change the language, right? And the words who really have meaning and the power behind those words. So, and that's what we're
Fact.
talking about, words and utterances and all of that. And it's crazy because when I first said something to you about using Heka, I didn't realize why this came to my mind because a lot of the reading that I was doing last night, and I was reading an article about a sister within a community, about utterances when being speaking in tongues, and about, you know, prayers and all those things and what it looks like and what it means for us as comedic, you know, practitioners, comedic beings. So it's like, wow, all this is just kind of coming together.
See, I told you it happens. It's always like that. You know, it you think of a topic. When we come here on Sunday, you think of a topic. You don't know why, where it comes from, but then it's a driving force. There's always reason,
Mhm.
even when we don't know it. You know, the thought or the just even again, the thought of making today's space about Heka, that action in itself was Heka. Because it was a thought that manifested into our utterances and what we're speaking about now. You know what I mean? So it was divine, it's always divine. And you know, over the last few weeks, um, quite a few of us have been going through some things. You know, I had situation with my brother, still healing Dwa R Hrw, um, all of that. You know, our son Jason, he's had, you know, his brother transition. There's been a few of us that's had, you know, and many more, those who may have not have spoken what they're going through. But as we come here and when we get into the prayer part, I can feel the power of Heka because not just in my situation, and many can probably concur, as Senator would say, um, that Heka, the magic of people really praying for you, people really not just saying empty things like "I'm going to pray for you" and then they don't. You know when it happens because you see the power in the tongue. You see the power in its movement. I mean, you all know, and again, it's not to keep repeating or bringing up what happened. It's just my brother passed away and his heart started beating again. There were so many prayers from all over, not just my shrine and folks that are close to me, but all avenues. With St. Jason, he was going through it with his brother, but the prayers that he may never know about kept him, you know, gave him the strength that he needed to get through and to do what he needed to do. Even you, there's prayers for you that you may not even know about, and things are changing in your life. Things are changing based off of that Heka that's occurring. You know, you pray for yourself and speak words of power into your life, but then others do it for you too. And it's powerful because I see the movement. I see the goalposts moving when people actually follow through and are speaking, like you said, words of healing, words of power, words that build, words that heal. You just asked the question, you know, are we speaking healing? Are we creating with our words? You know what I mean? Are we
Creating,
speaking life?
yes, creating. Heka is the architecture of our lives, right? That's how we create what we see. And something I say yesterday about we create the circumstances, right? We can change, alter our circumstances, and it's through our utterance, our speech, and what we do, and how powerful it is. And I think people don't realize that's crazy. I had a conversation with my son the other night, and I've had conversations with him and my other kids and other people about this several times about the power of words. And sometimes people don't get that. Like we like to alter and change what words mean,
Hmm.
right? And think it means something. For instance, for us, this word is derogatory. So I'm not going to, I'm CUNT, right? If somebody says that. However, now apparently in certain groups of young people, that is not a derogatory word. If they say that to you, that means you all that kind of situation. I was like, yeah, no. I told my daughter, my son, if you ever said that, just believe you getting punched in the lip. Like I'm just saying, like, no, Same thing with the word nigga, right? Everybody,
Right,
we saying that whatever. No, words have meaning, words have power, words, everything is an energy, right? Everything has a frequency. So I understand and get what people are trying to say. They're trying to alter it and change it. You can't. There's an opposite and equal reaction to everything, but energy is what it is, right? So words have meaning, they have power, they have energy to them. So no matter how much you want to alter, it is what it is,
And
and I remember
in its creation, it was intended for this thing. So just because
exactly.
you say, I'm going to take it and flop it, you're still, and the more you say these things, you are still giving power to that.
Exactly. You're creating that.
They're creating it.
Yes. Listen, I remember having issues with some family members or whatever, and they use the word nigga all the time. Little nigga, da da da. And it would say stuff, right? And I'd be like, that little nigga be tripping. Yo, don't call my grandson no little nigga. We good.
Right.
We're not doing none of that. He's not that. Yeah, he a little rambunctious, he's off the chain, but we're not saying that. Because in my mind, what I see with that is you wonder why people grow up in different ways. It's because of the words that you spoke over them that you don't even realize you speak over them. I'm gonna be real transparent right now. My children, my two older children, had come to me and said sometimes they felt as though me and their father wasn't real. What's the word I want to use? Positive with them. We always focus on the negative or where they could do better, right? So instead of doing the things like, yo, that was dope that you did that. Yo, you in the marching band, you did this, you the top of the class. It was like, okay, yeah, you did all that, but you got to see over here. What's up with that? That ain't good. We need to fix that. Why you wrong with that? You need to do that. Always pointing out the negative. So that's what our energy was, right? So that affected the way my children grew up, the way they looked at themselves, and nothing else. It was always possibly I'm never good enough. No matter what I do, I'm never good enough. I done did all this over here. Not that, and maybe the fact that they have to be perfect now, right? Because of the words that was spoken over them and in the manner in which they were spoken. We have to speak life into ourselves, into others around us. And also one thing that just hit my brain as I'm talking, also be mindful. Like we said, words have meaning and they have power. You can choose to speak destruction, confusion, and fear over yourself and over others. Just remember, what you put out comes back.
That's right. That's right.
So people that like to dabble in different things or whatever kind of scenario with the whole, I want to throw this out there, so and so, whatever. Just remember what you put out in the world comes back to you.
That's right.
So be mindful of that as
And
well.
also those, I don't know what to call it. Like, is it negative connotations? For instance, I'm just going to make up anything because just anything. Women, will say, "Oh, I want to lose weight" or something like that. Let's just say that, that use that. And then you're in your head still saying you're going to follow that up with, instead of speaking power or life into that, I ain't gonna, you know what I mean? You have a thought of something you want to do, but then you follow it up with the negative connotation of, I ain't gonna do this, or I'm not gonna do that. So you're still, you're killing the power. You're killing the power
Girl,
of God. You know what I mean?
this is crazy. I literally kind of had that same topic conversation with myself this morning, and I did the same thing that you just said about me having to not liking the weight that I'm at, and you know what I got to do with it, and I need to change it. And then I went straight to negative thoughts about it, of how I couldn't get there when I wouldn't do. That's bananas that you just said that
It's just
specific and
true.
exactly
Because
that
we kill the
comment.
power. We kill the power right there. It's almost like you see it, but you kill it. You kill it dead because you're not speaking, like you just said. And we all do this, If we don't anymore, we all have. But I know it happens to me. It's just like when a person is looking for a job. And let's say you got 20 interviews, 18 of them said no, but you still got 2 to go. And you go into them 2, but you're going into those 2 and like, I ain't gonna get this job because you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm not going, and you don't get it. Sometimes you get lucky in the dice rolls and you do, but you're killing that right then. You're cutting that umbilical cord off before it even had a chance to have power behind it. You know what I mean?
Very true. Very true. It's it's even like the word magic. I don't know why. I guess because most people have this, and I'm gonna speak about me. The way I look at the word magic, sometimes it's like it's this woo woo thing, or yeah, like like fantasy thing. I wish there was another word we can use, because sometimes with the things we do and the power of it and the energy of it, but using the word magic makes it maybe I just need to alter or really look at what the word magic means versus what my interpretation of it is, or what society has chosen to make us believe um the word magic is when we're saying things. I feel like it's Heka is what's the word I want to use? It's within us. It's a power that we have. And I say magic, it's the power and the gifts that we have to create the life we want, right? To create our circumstances, to bring into fruition what's in our mind and what's in our thoughts.
Absolutely.
Kind of thing. And that's not magic to me, because magic is something like miraculously happen. No, it's not miraculously happen. It's intentionally happening because I'm speaking it into life and I have the power within me to do so. So it's not like, oh, this thing just miraculously just happened. Oh my goodness, can you believe this happened? No, I believe it happened because that's why I did what I did. And heck, it should be intentional. Yes, it's intentional. It's intentional how we speak, what we do, and how we say, and what we speak forth out of our mouth.
Absolutely. Let's address some of the folks in the chat. We have our Uncle Ma'at Hetepu to Sin James Limba. He's on the YouTube channel there. Glad to have you here. We have our Sin Curtis Jackson, Uncle Ma'at. Uncle Ma'at Atin Amin Ra. That's our Sinatan. We have Love Peace, Uncle Ma'at to Houstonette. Uncle Ma'at to Melanation App, to Hootie Forever. Sing Garrick Van, Uncle Ma'at to you. Melanation App says here, or Sinatan, he says, to Sinetu, the universe will only give you what you give. Exactly. What you give it. That's true. Melanation App to Hootie Forever says, we tend to focus on issues being that it takes conscious energy to correct them. However, we should be mindful of the things deserving praise. That's right. This requires self-love and being in the moment. That is very true. I agree.
Yes, you are.
Definitely agree. And it, what we also choose. We kind of pick and choose. And granted, I'm not saying that our energy goes into everything, but sometimes our words can be empty too. Just like when somebody says, man, pray for me, blah, 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 blah. And you say, yeah, I'm gonna pray for you, but do you do it? And it's not a question to answer to me, yes or no, because again, I'm not your fly on the wall. I'll never be the one holding your scales, but do you do it? Now, sincerely, do you actually speak that prayer out? Do you just, tell a friend, I'm going to pray for you? Do you actually do you really, give yourself some time or give a moment to that you said you were going to do? You know what I mean? Thus, when you need praying for, are you prayed for? That's and the thing is, prayer isn't something that necessarily has to be announced, because when people see your need, if they're sincere about it, they're gonna pray for you. You know what I mean? So are you praying for the folks that you tell them that you're gonna pray for? Are you praying when no one's asking you to pray for them? When you see one of your sisters or brothers or someone out there that just seems to be down, are you actually speaking power into them? They don't have to know about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you are the so-called abracadabra in that moment for them. They don't ever have to know. They don't have to know your name. Because just as we speak life into ourselves, you're capable of doing that for others too.
So true. And in my own personal experiences lately, I've noticed when you change, everything begins, like we say, Heka is the utterance, right? So it's the speaking it out, but it begins within your mind, right? It's changing your mind, your thoughts, and how you see things. And then you can actually utter it out in a different way, not sticking on negative stuff, but on positive stuff. I think we mentioned this one time before in the conversation we had, an example of women always speaking on, and we talk about women because we are women, right? So that's we want to use examples of, men ain't nothing, they ain't this, they sugar honey icy or whatever. But you put it into the universe, so that's what you get back. Like Senator Tom said, what you put out is what you get back. You're focused on that. You're not focused on what you want in a relationship if you're not in one, or if you are in one still, what you want in that relationship you have. Are you focusing on and speaking on and uttering all the negative things or negative thoughts that you have? May not even necessarily be reality, but just negative thoughts that you have. Or are you speaking life into that relationship that you have and that you're seeking to have, kind of thing. And that's been something that I've been pretty in the forefront of my journey recently, is altering my thought process and then the way I choose to speak and view the world and view myself. And what I've noticed lately, I can't give you specific examples, they've been so small, but what I put back into the universe, I see coming back to me now. And it's small stuff. Like I'll say something like, dang, I wish I really need this, when I get to work, I'm late and I know ain't gonna be no parking spots. But I need, I got, my hips and stuff is bothering me today. So I need to be in the front of the space so I ain't gotta walk far enough. You know what I mean? Now listen, if I'm at my job by like 7:10, you ain't getting no good spot. You gotta do some walking. I'm like 8:00. Guess what happens? Right there, that spot. And this other thing, the same thing happened. And my head up like, yo, I wish I need this, whatever. And this would be good. I don't know why this ain't working out. Dang, I need this to happen. And it'll happen. And it's about, because I've been speaking life into myself, the way I see the world, and not being in a negative space with it. But Hecka is it's so powerful. And as long as you continue to practice it, and walk in it, you will definitely see your life change. The way you see things change, all that you will see it change. And it's not, and me saying that, I'm being straight up, like I said, I'm being transparent. It's not like I walk around all the time in a positive space. Well, I just said that just now, like I had some self-doubt the first thing this AM, right? But I continually it's intentional, right? And it's a conscious effort to change our thought process and our mind. And so, I'm not perfect in it, and I'm not always walking around like speaking life into myself and life into everybody else. And I'm always, that type of thing, and with no doubt whatsoever. And it's still happening, but everything happens in steps, little by little. Sometimes we think it's supposed to immediately happen. Well, I'm speaking life, and ain't nothing changing. So what's the purpose of it? Or, whatever. I'm living proof this, you will see it. Also, too, like I think somebody said something, if you take the time to be in the present and just wait and see. Sometimes we're moving so quick, we can't even see the blessings that we have spoken over ourselves or someone else has spoken over us.
Right. And I agree. I definitely am proof of that as well, because I remember I've been married 23 years. We've been together 30 something years, and it ain't always been pretty. And what you said just now a little while ago about relationships, I would, be doubtful here, doubtful there, and wonder why my marriage wasn't great. But I was never speaking life into it. I wasn't speaking power. My man he's always been a good guy. It's always been great. But I couldn't see that. I could see it to the point where I was going to lose all of that because I didn't see. I couldn't appreciate that until I started speaking life into that relationship. It wasn't ever that it was bad, but I had things that I needed to deal with myself. And what better else to do besides blame somebody else? You think it ain't me? I mean, why that's how you look at it when you're involved with other people. It ain't you're not gonna look in the mirror and deal with you. Instead, it's somebody else. You know what I mean? So once I was able to do that and learn to and it wasn't something that I had to learn by outside sources. I just began to do that, speak power into that relationship and actually speak power into him, because he's always been a good man. And I could actually see how good of a man he was, see how well I was loved by this other person. And that being said, no matter, and like you said, chasing the next thing, we never are in the moment to see so if my marriage was to be over in this moment, I'd have to be at peace with that, because I was able to experience what it was to have something good. I was able to experience that. You know what I mean? So everything isn't meant to be placed in your pocket. You feel those blessings in the moment while they're there. You don't
Mm-hmm.
own the moment, you live in it. You know what I mean? And that's how it's supposed to be. Nobody belongs to us. Our children, our spouses, our parents, our friends, our sisters, our brothers, nobody belongs to us. You cannot place any of that in your pocket. But what you do is, like you said, speaking life into each one of your situations, the people that you deal with, the situations that you have, just like simply finding a parking space. You know what I mean? Because I understand that. And lo and behold, here's a parking space for you. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? So
I'm true. I'm trying to I'm
um,
moving around. One
oh, no worries,
someone
no worries. I'm gonna look and see what's still
yeah,
posted.
please identify and post any literature sources for continued study following today's session. So I was looking to see, I got a book back here, but
Oh,
I was also going to ask with that, are you meaning specifically on Heka and what the meaning of it is and the power behind it? Or something else you're looking for specifically, just if you can put that in the comments. But we will do that.
absolutely. St. Curtis, let us know, and that's what we'll do. Let us know what you're referring to, and we can do that. Let's see. The Senaton said, I concur. So that magic just happens with no explanation. Heka is intentional. That's right. Sometimes what Heka is just about recognizing the things around you. It's already there and it's already in existence. You just have to fine tune and focus. That's right. You want something to happen that is already happening for you. Sometimes Heka just requires you, again, like you said, to be in the moment and focus on your intentions. Yep, that's true. True, true. Very true.
And also too, if anyone else has anything that they know, that they can post in there. It's
Oh,
a group
I
effort kind
understand
of
what he
thing while we're
means.
talking.
Yeah,
I'm
I
sorry.
understand what he means now. He's just saying if there's any literature that we know on this topic that to post that. I get what you're saying,
Yeah,
Sen.
yeah.
Yeah.
Any related aspects of practicing or incorporating it into our daily life. Okay. And practices. Okay.
And St. James says, agreed, words are energy. It's been proven scientifically. Words are sounds. Sounds carry energy. Absolutely. They have the ability to activate. They have the ability to destroy. They say what the tongue can cut like a knife, or can kill or destroy, or can build and heal. So
Mhm. I think words are sound and sounds carry energy. Yes, it does. Yeah. It's about that breath too. Made me think about that and how important the breath is. And also in comedic practices, the breath is a big thing. It's very important. Um about your breath and understanding when you breathe in certain ways and how you use that breath to speak and the power that comes behind that as well. And I was just reading something about that too the other night. It's a sonnet. Whoa, she him that's her. She also went through the Shrine of Ma'at and was initiatory class there as well. But she came up under Baba Haru, and she's now creating her own temple. And some of her readings are magnificent. You talking about doing some deep research and having the sources, the where she's coming from her writings. And I think I'm going to share one of them here with you guys as well, especially when it comes like the utterances. And this one was more on the lines of her. Well, one of them specifically that I was reading was dealing with the speaking in tongues thing for the most part, and the utterance and speaking and what that is, and I guess how it I'm not going to say everything she does is based off a comedic, viewpoint. But how in the world, how we look at it and how we see it, and what does it really mean? In the Christian world, they have different, things that they're saying behind it. but she does have a lot of references to comedic literature to back up what she's saying. So I'm going to share that with you guys too. That's something that we can start with. And I do have another literature book dealing with Hecka that I have to figure out where it's at so I can share the name of it too, and then give you guys maybe this that specific where at in the book. You can kind of speak on that as well. And one of them I know I don't have here. I can't find it at all. And it's you know what's the craziest thing? I'm so not good with names. But in the Temple of the New and the Hymnetzer there, he wrote a book as far as with practices, I believe, and with Hecka and practices as far as incorporating that applications of how to use Hecka into your daily lives. But I'll find it though. I need to give out the name of it because I might not be able to look and tell you where exactly he was speaking on it, but I can look for the book again. I've been searching for that book for like 2 weeks now, and I can't find it.
You have one. I'll put it on the I'll put it on here. I have had this book for so many years, and I'm not gonna even pretend like I've read the whole thing, but this is what the cover looks like if you can see it.
Mm-hmm.
And I just let me put it here. It's called Hecka, the Practice of Ancient Egyptian Ritual and Magic. That's David Rankine, Rankine, on the screen. It's over 5,000 pages, so you can see why I haven't read it all. But I've had it for a long time, and every now and then I will reference it. But it definitely gives some good information. Talks about statues, masks, gestures, all different types of things. What is Hecka?
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of information in there. It's got a lot of good visuals of certain postures and poses and things like that. And the sources are cross-referenceable as well, so you can definitely get some good information from there. Said Ra'u Nefer Amen of Asar Aset Society has a solid medita. I have one of Ra'u Nefer's books here. It is his second edition of, where are you? It's Metanetra's second edition. That's the one that I have his. There it is. Which, although it doesn't talk about Hecka, it's a really good book. His volume 2 of the Metanetra. Can you put the information in the chat? Yes, love, peace. Hopefully you were able to see that. Is that what you were looking for the books that we were referring to on Hecka?
It's the meditation program that includes Hecka mantras. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I was saying the same thing with oh, he's gonna ask me to put the name of the book in there.
From Facebook, love, peace. She said, can you put the information in the chat? And I'm not sure which one she's referring to. If you could elaborate to let me know. That was the book that I was referring to that I have, but there are other sources as well, not just that one. Okay. Yes. She said, yes, that's the one. Okay. And that one is on Kindle. You can get it in hard copy. It's a lot of but it's some really good information in there. I've basically went through chapters that I was looking for particular things I was looking for. So I do up for the reference. I just added it to my Amazon cart. Good, good, good. Yeah, that one is Heka. That one there is Heka, the ancient. Make sure did I practice of ancient Egyptian ritual and magic, and it's by David Rankine. All right. All right. If there's any more, we can keep going into that, but we'll start moving into the prayer session portion. So we'll open up the space now for prayer requests. If there are any individuals or families or situation that you wish to lift in prayer, may their names, please put their names in the chat if you would like to do so. I'm going to put it in the chat. I'm always going to, so we can say these names. I will. Since we're doing, I might as well just put them up here.
So I have one.
All right. Let's put them on there.
So for it's prayer for this space. For this space that has been created for us to come together on Sundays a.m. For us to continue individually and together when we come on here to speak life into it and speak intentionally on what it is that we want from this space and what we want to see in this space.
Agreed. That's power, our sacred space here. All right. St. James, he says, yes, Sinette, that 6-volume collection has a lot of good info on mantras, which would be Hekau. Okay. Yes. All right. Wonderful. I'm glad you said that because I do, I value this space and all who come here with us each week and, all who tune in. I also want to remind everyone who does come here, don't be afraid to come and get on camera. I never like to be seen, so this was a huge accomplishment, I guess, or a huge hurdle to leap over for myself. You know what I mean? I'm like the ghostwriter type. I like to be in the background and not be seen. So
it's crazy. I was thinking the same thing. Like, yeah, listen, speaking, you got something that wants to be shared and spoken on, or you have information like about different things that you can add to this conversation and more. I know some of us are a little bit more knowledgeable in being able to give out literature or references right there on the spot. Say that and jump up in here and do that. We need balance in everything that we do. So
absolutely,
yeah.
Absolutely.
If it's just for a hot second and you get off, is cool.
That's fine. If you have a topic or any particular, service of adoration that you'd like to come on and do, don't be shy. Don't be shy. Because again, this space it is not a space for myself. It's not a space for Sinette Sashat. We come here because the space belongs to all of us. And we like she said, we want to continue to speak life into this space. We share this publicly on my YouTube channel. I think I've told you all before, I don't have a YouTube following. I don't look for a YouTube following. But the purpose of doing that publicly is because this is a public gathering for people to be able to come, to be able to speak transparently, and to be able to commune with other Kemetic practitioners from whatever shrine you're from, whatever temple you're from. If you're not a part of a shrine and you're interested in Kemetic practice, you're a Kemetic practitioner that's not a member of any shrine, whatever the case may be, this space is for you. It's for all of us.
We are just the keepers of it. Not even say the keepers. We are just the ones who open it up and
pretty much
do what's necessary in the background to make sure that it may to help keep it sacred and safe. So when we're here, we're opening it up. Same thing like when you go, in person to a temple or anything else. You have someone who's maybe there a little bit early, setting up, getting things prepared for everyone who's coming in. Same thing. We just here to open it up. Hey, how you going? And after that is y'all's.
Right.
Do what you do with it. And maybe that's something we should think about. Next Sunday, something else. Hey, we here to open it up. We doing it, and then after that, it's about what you think, what you say, and let the conversation roll from there. Like it ain't even no topic. It's just we are here. We're opening it up. We do the opening it away. We set the space and create the sacred space and cleanse it, and then have at it kind of situation.
Next week we might even call that freestyle. Let it go. Let's see where it goes, because anybody can have the opportunity to come on and provide adoration. You know what I mean? And just come, like she said, you can come on for a moment. I'll put the link in the chat. We already spent an hour today, so we would have thought of that. But that's exactly what we'll do. And maybe even in the coming weeks, as topics, as we come into topics, then we'll have space to open it up. Because I think you did that one week, and I enjoyed that. You know what I mean? I know no one came on, but that's a great idea. The week that I couldn't be here, and I was like, oh, that's a good idea. I think we should, once we have our topic, maybe we can go ahead and open it up for folks to come in outside of the chat. If they want to come on screen and say something, it'll be available for them to do so. But next week, I think that might be a fair shot. Let's just freestyle and go where it goes. Like you said, we'll open the space up for everyone. And let's see, Senatan, I hope you all will be available for Seba. Yep, sure enough. In fact, we're going to get to those in announcements as well. So we did put some names. We waited for those. If anybody has anyone that needs to be have prayer, even if you haven't put the name, we have put Akip Himnetter Waseri, as he is continuing to recover and heal. Himnetter Ames, of course, as he's going through his treatments. My brother's there. I keep Senatan. I keep Sin Jason. I keep all of you actually in prayer. If there are any particular needs, our Sinet Oye, Sinet Pam, Coach Ye. I know she's not on here, but praying for her strength. She is doing such an amazing job with the reunion. Just praying for her continued strength and resilience. That woman is she's doing it. Yes, she has assistance, but she's out there doing it all by herself. So, Dwa to the Netaru for her feeling so moved to be able to do this, because some of us, such as myself, I would have been tired and be like, yeah, y'all can forget that. So I am glad that I'm honored, actually, and this will be the first one that I will be able to have attend. So this is it's going to be wonderful. So with the prayers, I'll just say, may our collective prayers be guided by Ma'at. May healing come where healing is needed, and clarity where there is confusion, and peace come where there is unrest. Do see that there are a couple of announcements. We do have announcements. Melanation app, Tahuti Forever. If you all have not been watching his series on YouTube, it's been great. He's been having some really good guests on there. And this coming Wednesday, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, Himnetter and Tepi Jabari will be on his show. So please show him some support. You can find him on YouTube. If you would put your YouTube channel in there, I believe it's Melanation app, because I get the notifications all the time. But Tahuti Forever, if that's not the name of your YouTube channel, please let me know so that I can actually put that on the screen before we close out also. We also have Sebait this afternoon, and the time, and this is going to be a dynamic Sebait tonight, so I can't wait. The time for today's Sebait, and you will find the link in the group, because the Sebait is in the private group. I believe tonight's going to be public as well. We'll see, but let me just look at the actual time. At 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sebait has been actually, I can't even hold you all. It's been wonderful. It's been a wonderful build for the past few times. I think I missed one. But it's been really, really, when we were going over the maximums of Ptah, we went through Kajemni. We went through, what was the other one? We did Kajemni. We did we didn't go through all the maximums of Ptah, but it was just interesting as we were reading these different instructions and maximums, just how prevalent these things are now in today's time. So you all need to definitely make some time and get about eat. You will find it very, very informative. St. Jason and St. Tom likes to say that they're not scholars. Well, that might be so, but they are, again, they're doing like what we're doing. They open up the space for us to learn together. They don't get on there to pretend to know this or know that, but they open up the space and we actually go through the text and learn it together. It's like code cracking. It's so amazing. You guys got to make sure to be there. Be there.
Is that 6 tonight?
Thank you for that, Sin Curtis. Also, yes, Sin Tanya, a full member. We always want to keep her on the prayer. She's definitely on the. In fact, I do, but I'm so glad you said that so that we are mentioning her name, because again, it is heck out. We have to speak those words, and I know that she's been going through some things lately. So, Sinette Tanya, wherever you are, I know that you're not. I'm actually gonna. I'm gonna say her whole name. Sorry, but I gotta do it. Gotta do it. Sinette Tanya Smiley. I know that you don't necessarily get on. We text you sometimes, we message and check on you, but whatever you're going through, we ask that your heart remains light. We don't need to know. We just need to make sure that we're speaking life into you, your situation, and those around you. If it's medical, we're also praying for the doctors who are involved. If it's emotional, if it's mental, we're praying for the strength of your mind and letting you know that you always will have sisters and a shrine. You'll always have sisters that'll have your back. We are here. We're always here, no matter what. And you do have a shrine that loves you. So we raise your name up. Thank you for saying that, St. Curtis, because again, speaking that power into her.
Are we just basically doing a balance of the scale, sis? Or where we at?
No, certainly. You can go ahead. I'm just getting my symbolic stuff.
Yeah.
Y'all don't laugh. You look out that this thing is like, oh, I'm still holding on.
With your feathers. I got some feathers for you. I'm gonna have to send you some.
Thank you. This little, it ain't even a whole feather. It's so brown and dirty. Oh, poor baby. And my little heart. I got my heart. This was
nice.
Thing that fell off of a purse some years ago. So I put both of those in the scale and I'll sit them here as symbolism as she goes through balancing of the scale.
Yeah, so before we close out, let us always reflect, guys, on what we spoke about. Some things during the course of the day to think about and maybe ask yourself. And if you're into journaling, journal it out. How do I use my words each day? Do my words heal or harm? Do my thoughts align with my acts? I think that's something we should journal about every day. All right. I'm gonna start doing that with that myself. What am I creating through my speech, intentions, and actions? That's a good one. What am I creating through my speech, intentions, and actions? Remember, we create our circumstances. So what is it in my life? My life right now, I don't like it, how it looks and everything else. What am I doing to create in my life through my speech, intentions, and actions? And what do I need to change if I want my life to be different, right? So how do I need to change my speech, my intentions, and my actions? Our ancestors understood that Heka is not reserved for temples. It is present in daily life. Every word spoken in truth strengthens my art. Every word spoken in falsehood weakens it. So I'm going to also, I think, be good to write these questions maybe in our chat too. People, if they want to go back and look at them
Absolutely.
to reflect on later.
I will do just that right now. Let me remove these banners here. And also, oh, I forgot one other announcement. On Mondays at 6 p.m., we still have that intro to Meduneter. It's very cool. We just basically go through the Middle Egyptian grammar. Sometimes we play some games. The games are repetitious, but it's actually good because it's just getting folks familiar with the unilaterals. So it helps if you know. So the game, yeah, the answers are always going to remain the same. It's 28 questions in that game when I do play it. You know what I mean? It's just recognizing the basic Kemetic alphabet. So these questions I'm just going to place here.
While she's doing that, something that just came to me that I wanted to this is a place of adoration and giving praise, and so I want to give praise to some of our brothers and sisters that who are always on the forefront, and no matter what, trying to keep the Kemetic community connected and together. And I appreciate you guys for doing that. Then Ka, then Curtis, then Atan, then Jason. You guys are always show up for everybody. So that should be, that should be acknowledged for sure, and shown that we give appreciation for you for doing that and continuing despite whatever may be going on with yourselves and in your own lives to try to always keep this the fellowship, the family, the community together. That is that's important. That is very important and it's so needed. And I appreciate you guys for doing that. For sure, with the things you're doing with this here, with the this about I don't know if I even said that right, that you guys do, and everything else. And you guys just always show up in one way or the other. So that is seen. And so therefore I am going to acknowledge it right now while we were waiting for Sinkat to type that.
Do and you do too. You know what I mean? To all of you who we call at the last minute and may need you to come on here, Sinette Daria, Sinette Cass,
Yeah.
Sinette to who I mean,
Yes.
our Jati out there,
Yes.
Hootie Fry, just so many of you pour more than what you realize. It may seem small, but there's a lot. And there's a lot to say when we know it just shows that we all have the same, no matter how big or small the feeling, we all have the same need to continue fellowship. We all have the same need and desire to be sure that communion is able to continue throughout our community. Um, and we do this unwavering, just like you say, it's not just those that you mentioned. Well, yes, I appreciate that, but we do this in spite of, in spite of what might be going on. We still do this because it shows you that our intentions are true in this walk of life. It's not, we're not woke trenders. We do this because we truly live this life to the best of our abilities in this modern 2026 West world. We do what we can as African descendants. Us, like you said earlier, we speak a lot about women because we're women. But that's not, either way, all of us who show up consistently, who watch later, who are doing the things that they're doing, like you said, Sebayit, the Medunetra, everybody who's placing a contribution, giving some of their time, giving some of their words, giving some of their thoughts. That's huge for us to continue to fellowship. We're across the states, but we're virtually holding hands. There was a time we couldn't hold hands because of COVID. Now it's so many of us that have connected that we're holding hands virtually to continue this walk and to not let it fade. And like you said, I appreciate everybody that does it. I do it with a sincere heart, and I know that everyone else that I've connected with are doing the same, including yourself, you know. So
Yeah, and to all the ones that are unseen, same thing for you guys. We give you your flowers and your praise, and the ones that I may not know the names or may not necessarily be connected to me in some kind of way, but you're still doing the work, right? I give thanks to all of you because I see it and I feel it. So I just wanted to make sure that that was something that was spoken.
right. Do I. May the Netaru continue to guide us and continue to create spaces for us to show up and support and do what we're doing, even, you know, even not to be seen just so it's a great, you know, so we have followers, but to actually be doing what we're doing and doing the work and going through these texts and references and sharing resources, not gatekeeping the resources, you know, and that's a beautiful thing. A beautiful thing. That is how we build, you know. Building an empire is it takes one brick at a time, and each one of us are those bricks. So all right. Well, closing adoration. Dua to Ma'at, dua to Jehudi, dua to Haka, dua to Patah, dua to all of the Netaru who guide us in wisdom and truth. May our words be truthful. May our thoughts be righteous. And may our actions always reflect Ma'at. May we use the gift of Heka to heal, uplift, and transform ourselves and our communities. With that being said, for all of you, to ourselves, Anku Ja Seneb, Dua Ma'at, Shem Ma'at.
Until next time.
All right.